Joining us right now is Price Futures Group Senior Market Analyst, Fox Business contributor, Phil Flynn. Wow, what a day yesterday, Phil. How does it look today?
It looks a lot better than yesterday. It seems like the words from the Trump administration's about potential stimulus and really their anger at the irresponsibility from Saudi Arabia for starting this price war is really starting to have some ramifications. In fact, overnight, we heard reports from the Department of Energy that basically came out and said, hey, this really is a reason, when we have state actors trying to manipulate, the global energy markets, this really emphasizes the role of the United States as a reliable supplier. Because what Saudi Arabia did and Russia did over the weekend was not responsible. It was childish. It was not good for them. It was not good for the global economy. And I think it's time for the United States to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough. Enough of this market manipulation.
Hey, Phil, it's Scott Martin. I'm coming back home, buddy, today. So get excited.
Okay, good.
I'll see you tomorrow. But in the meantime, I've been checking out gas prices around the area in New York here, given that we had that big sell-off yesterday. So it's relatively fresh, I agree. But yes, do you think that there's going to be I guess, immediate impact on prices at the pump, or is a lot of that gasoline that's still sitting at the gas stations needs to be worked off before they actually make the adjustment in prices?
Well, I think you realize people in New York don't drive anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. I'm just
There's
kidding,
cars.
But, yeah, they're cars. They're cars. They're all cabs, right? No, at the end of the day, you're going to see an immediate impact at the pump. We're already seeing the price, AAA's reporting it's going to fall, and it's going to fall a lot further. And normally that doesn't happen this time of year. This is the time of year we start building up prices ahead of the summer driving season. So in a weird way, this is going to give us a little bit of a shot of an economic stimulus, at least short term.
Looking at these prices still below $35 a barrel on West Texas Intermediate, Phil Stegan, by the way. Do you think that some of these small shale producers are going to need a bailout? Do you think they're going to come and knock into the federal government for that?
I think there's talk about it. The Trump administration is looking at ways to try to help them out. And the question is trying to do too much. I mean, there's some producers that probably deserve to go out of business because of the way they ran their business. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. But there's others, of course, that are only going to be in trouble because of what Saudi Arabia did. So they're going to have to balance it. But I do think that's on the table right now.
So what do you think the cutoff point is? I mean, crude oil at 34 and change, even with this rally today, is still not at the level that these shale producers need. What is it? Is it $55, $60 a barrel that they're basing their business on, that they have expectations in place? And what is that going to mean in terms of the number of rigs that they cancel? I mean,
Right. Well, if I gave you an average price, I guess it's $40. But, every shale basin is different. Some of them, need $60 really to make money. Others, because of their debt load, need a much higher level. But 40 is the general number that we see. Yeah, we're already going to see an impact. We're hearing from producers today that they are cutting back capital spending. They're stopping projects right now. Now, ultimately, that's, bad in the short run. But in the long run, it's going to probably, squeeze supplies. Once we get past this coronavirus and with all this economic stimulus, there will be a demand surge at some point. And when that happens, we want to make sure the U.S. energy producer takes advantage of it, not Saudi Arabia, Russia, and OPEC, which really caused a big hiccup in the global markets yesterday.
Who's going to blink first, the Saudis or the Russians, in your view?
Right now, I think it's got to be Saudi Arabia listen, Prince bin Salman, he's acting totally irrational right now. He's putting his family in jail, letting them out. He's under a lot of pressure at home. But this was, a very unprofessional, immature act. And even though I think Russia, I think even Russia is going to try to come back to the table, but, unless they can get bin Salman under control, anything is possible at this point.
All right, we'll leave it there. Phil, good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day.